younger man that sits beside her. The younger man puts out his hand and introduces himself, saying, "My name's Jay, what's your name?" She responds, "Ellen, what do you do?" He says, "I make music." And they go on to discuss where he's headed and his plans later that day. A simple yet refreshingly pleasant conversation amidst a chaotic subway car. As he gets up to leave, the lady asks, "Say your name again, just so I get it." He says, Jay-Z. Had this woman known she was sitting next to one of the greatest rappers of all time, she might not have been so quick to engage in such casual conversation. And had Jay-Z thought of himself as too good to be talking to an old stranger, he wouldn't have had the pleasure of meeting Ellen. For those like Mr. Halling and Miss Kim who appreciate data and research, I have a study for you. In hopes of answering the age-old question, what makes for a happy life, scientists in 1938 tracked the health and broader lives of 264 Harvard sophomores for nearly 80 years, making it the longest study on happiness ever conducted. During this time, researchers collected data on the subject's physical and mental health from medical records, in-person interviews, and hundreds of questionnaires. The conclusion reached: close relationships are what keep people happy. The data revealed a strong correlation between flourishing lives and relationships with family, friends, and community. Psychiatrist George Valiant explained, "When the study began, nobody cared about empathy or attachment, but the key to healthy aging is relationships, relationships, relationships." So, as you begin your unique journeys outside of Bronxville, I encourage you all to seek out deeply personal interactions, fueled by meaningful compliments, empathetic listening, and a balance of confidence and humility. The kind of interactions you can look back on years later and remember so vividly, you can sketch a portrait of the face sitting beside you. In the words of the immortal Mr. Rogers, if you could only sense how important you are to the lives of those you meet, how important you can be to the people you may never even dream of. There is something of yourself that you leave at every meeting with another person. I wish you all the courage to offer the best part of yourself to whomever you'll meet, and the openness to receive a piece of everyone in return. Thank you.
And now we will hear from the President of the Student Faculty Legislature, Molly Bishop.
That was amazing, Andrew. My name is Molly Bishop, and I have had the honor of serving as this year's SFL President. I would like to start with a huge thank you to the entire community and beyond for being here to celebrate the class of 2023. It truly takes a village to put this evening's festivities together, so thank you to everyone on the graduation committee, administration, faculty, and of course the graduates with me here today. I am beyond grateful to have the opportunity to speak. Preparing for this speech, I struggled to say the least. Knowing I had to follow Andrew seemed like impending doom, and attempting to encapsulate 4 years of high school into 6 minutes felt daunting at best. I thought I would think back to freshman year. Surely 14-year-old Molly would have something to say. She could save me. I vividly remember sitting in the old cafeteria with my newly formed freshman transition group, each of us given a blank piece of loose leaf with the task of writing a Dear Future Self letter to be opened the week of our graduation. At the time, that felt 100 years away. Should I make predictions, give a few words of adolescent advice, goals I hope I've reached? Thankfully, my younger self, in all of her wisdom, decided to record a list of every couple in our grade, all the ones that would be together forever, to see if they made it through graduation. Unfortunately, we have a low success rate, guys. Thankfully, that was not the only thing I wrote. Young Molly also decided to document the wisdom of two of humanity's greatest minds, the Dalai Lama and Taylor Swift. The Dalai Lama once wrote, "The purpose of our lives is to be happy." While this can seem like the most basic idea, it's quite easy to lose sight of. In a world where we are constantly chasing the next best thing, the newest trend, or the most success, we often forget what we do it all for, overlooking the true goal behind it all: happiness. Whether that be in your work or through the people you surround yourself with, make sure to fill your life with things that make you feel good. And although the Dalai Lama did not write this one, he probably would have agreed with Taylor Swift's 2016 single, Shake It Off. There are so many times in our lives when we take ourselves too seriously and get wrapped up in our own world. We can let a mean comment or a rough day at school get the best of us. But it's important to remember that nothing lasts forever, and sometimes you really do just have to shake it off and keep moving forward. However, the Dalai Lama and Taylor Swift could only get me so far, so as I kept brainstorming, I repeatedly returned to a childhood favorite movie of mine, High School Musical. There was not a day that went by in the Bishop household where you couldn't hear an echo of Zac Efron rocking it out from the kitchen, often accompanied by myself, my mom, Hannah, my dad, and even my brother Liam. But I truly believe the soundtrack to the movie, 2 songs in particular, speak to this amazing chapter of our lives here at the Bronxville School. Stick to the Status Quo is the 3rd song of the movie, following the main character's choice to leave his basketball team for a unique group of theater nerds. Flash mob style in the cafeteria, virtually every character and their respective cliques jam out to this upbeat pop number. Through all of the theatrical antics, which I'm quite partial to, the song displays an important message. Whether we want to admit it or not, we long to gel with our peers and find where we fit into the status quo. Throughout High School Musical, you see this idea unfold. The characters quickly realize that having one interest, one clear path, and one group of people often creates more harm than good. You see the brainiac find a true love for hip-hop, and even the head defenseman dream of crafting the best creme brulee. These characters find themselves happiest at the end of the story because they're able to branch out and find their own path. Luckily, as we enter our collegiate journeys and beyond, we are given the room to explore and find surprising paths of our own. Who knows, maybe taking that Roman mythology class freshman year to meet the Gen Ed requirement leads to a passion you never knew existed. Joining that improv group from the club fair, even though none of your friends are doing it, is the place you meet your best friend. Maybe finding an organization that makes waves on campus helps you become a part of a real change. Sometimes going against the grain and separating yourself from what everyone else is doing, you ultimately find the most joy. If you close every door in front of you to follow a clear path to success, you could be unintentionally preventing yourself from reaching it. In true Disney fashion, the final song of High School Musical, We're All in This Together, also feels appropriate to close out this speech. Although this chapter closing seems rather frightening, whether you are going 10 or 10,000 miles away next year, there is always a community in the class of 2023 to support you. As you look forward to beginning your individual journeys, don't forget that you'll always have this community and the many memories we made here. Together, we made it through those outrageously long Park Place lunch lines, the infinite campus end-of-quarter shutdowns that have shook many households, the trials and tribulations of the college process, and even a few educational trips to the dog park. The connections made here are invaluable and stronger than we even know it yet. Today we celebrate our final occasion of togetherness, and we are off on our original journeys starting tomorrow. However, that doesn't mean the idea of together is any less important. As you go down your own path, finding new friends, new families, groups, communities, I urge you to never lose sight of togetherness, no matter where you find yourself. I'd like to end with the final quote of the High School Musical movies. However, I've taken some creative liberties, so bear with me. Bronxville is having friends we'll keep for the rest of our lives, and that means we really are all in this together. Once a Bronco, always a Bronco. Thank you for having me. It's been a true honor.
This evening, we're honored to welcome our guest speaker, Matt Harris. Matt is a graduate of Bronxville High School from the class of 1997. Matt's father also graduated from Bronxville in 1964, and his brother in 1995. His mother, Elizabeth, still lives in Bronxville. Matt is currently the Director of Football Administration for the Arizona Cardinals. Please join me in welcoming Matt Harris.
Congratulations to the class of 2023. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Matt Harris, and I'm honored to be here today. I sat on this stage 26 years ago as part of the graduating class of 1997. My last name sounds generic, but the twist is that there are 2 R's and 2 S's in our version of Harris. The reason I bring that up is because when Principal Meyer invited me to speak tonight, I asked her to spell the last name of the person she was trying to reach. To my surprise, she had the right person. My wife Melissa and I have 2 boys, Luke and Trent. We live in Scottsdale, Arizona. You should all be very proud for being on the stage tonight. It is truly an accomplishment, especially with the immense pressure and competition that goes from being with Bronxville. I understand how much pressure the school and town can put on you. I really do. There are expectations that never really go away. Just think, 26 years from now, you may get a call to speak at graduation. Terrifying. Principal Meyer explained to me that she knew about my unique professional career and thought it'd be a good opportunity to share with the graduates. Not a big fan of talking about myself, but I accepted the challenge. What was going to be my angle? The challenge brought me back to one of the more memorable speeches I have given. That speech took place in that auditorium over there during the middle school speech competition. The only subject I cared about was sports, so my speech was about former Yankee Don Mattingly. I knew I needed to start off hot to get everyone's attention, so I began singing "Take Me Out to the Ballgame." I contemplated bringing that back tonight, and trust me, I could use those 32 seconds right now. And yes, I did time it out. When I sat here 26 years ago, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I played football and baseball as a Bronco, but you won't find my jersey hanging in the rafters. Even though I wasn't a star, I wouldn't have changed a thing about being part of those teams because those are some of the best memories of my life. I attribute a lot of my lifelong friendships to playing sports and being around my classmates and community during my time as a student here in Bronxville. I'm not saying your passion has to be sports, but that was the only topic that interested me. When it was time to move on to college, I was excited, nervous, maybe even a little bit scared to leave the friendly confines of Bronxville. I attended Lafayette College and clearly remember being worried on that first drive to Easton, Pennsylvania. What was I going to major in? What was going to be my first job? Where was I going to live? I knew it wasn't healthy to stress about the rest of my life just a few months removed from high school, but that's easier said than done. I somehow convinced myself to take it one day at a time until I found something that would give me direction. My initial thought regarding academics was that I'd be an economics major, so that's what I jotted down as a freshman. I was decent with numbers, had a pretty solid SAT score in math, and figured economics would come naturally to me. I knew I wouldn't be playing varsity sports in college, and that was fine, but sports were still my passion. After all, I was very good at watching sports. Fast forward 4 years, 2001, and I had graduated with a respectable GPA, a degree in history, and what some people call the most dominant intramural flag football championship in Lafayette history. I enjoyed my college experience and left school in a completely different direction than how I walked onto that campus. After graduating, I still did not know what was next. I had been applying to just about every job I could think of, including every sports entity in the tri-state area. I heard back from a bank and a few other companies that I had zero interest in working for, and nothing was too exciting. Then came that one day that changed everything for me. I received a call back from the National Football League. I was offered an opportunity to interview for an internship in the officiating department, which was very exciting until I did not get the job. But I had apparently made enough of an impression during my visit that they offered me an opportunity to interview with a different department, football operations. A few days later, I was notified that I was officially an intern. I couldn't believe it. My first task at the lowest of the low at the NFL was to call players and inform them that they'd been fined for something they did in the previous week's game. I think it was my second week there that I had to contact former receiver Terrell Owens. If you're too young to know who he is, look him up. He let me know he was not thrilled. Welcome to the NFL. By the end of the first season, that internship turned to a full-time job. My world was now the salary cap, player contracts, the collective bargaining agreement, and all sorts of rules that most fans of the NFL don't care about. Perfect for a history major. I embraced the opportunity, continued to learn on the job, and more importantly, didn't mess it up. 4 years later, the New York Giants called to see if I wanted to work for them. I couldn't believe it again. That was my team growing up. After 10 years working for the Giants, I had 2 Super Bowl rings and had been to the White House twice. Sure beats working in economics. In some instances, I was in the right place at the right time, but I don't attribute all of my career to luck. I was equipped to handle the opportunity I had as an intern and grow from there. I have no doubt that stems from the foundation formed by this small, unique village of Bronxville. I urge you all to go through your own process, enjoy the next chapter of your life. It won't always be easy, but one day something will inspire and motivate you. Take advantage of that opportunity and follow your passion. You don't know what you don't know yet. I've said it a few times, but Bronxville is truly a special place. My grandfather, C. Lowell Harris, had all 4 of his children graduate from Bronxville while he taught, oddly enough, economics at Columbia University. My father, Gordon Harris, was also a proud graduate from Bronxville who, along with my mom, Elizabeth, decided to raise my brother and me here in town. When I was a senior back in '97, my class actually voted my dad to be our commencement speaker. When he started his speech, I was the most nervous person on stage because, parents are really good at embarrassing their kids. But about 30 seconds into his speech, I couldn't have been more proud. He had a way with words and was able to accurately describe the pride that the class of '97 had. I want to borrow a passage from his speech, which I find masterful. He said, "What is the ceremony called? The members of the class of '97 before you uniformly refer to it as graduation, an end to something. The school refers to it as a commencement, the start of something. Indulging the school for a moment, what are the members of the class about to start? In all too short a time, only 65 or 70 days, you will disperse from this village. North as far as Maine and Minnesota, south as far as the Carolinas and Louisiana, west to California, north and south, and still further to Japan. Some of you will go with others here, most of you will not. The universities and colleges you will attend will dwarf this one building schoolhouse. Many are far larger both in area and in population than the entire village. You will be entering the class of 2001 at these colleges, which will number at least in the many hundreds and up to the many thousands. There you will commence new studies and have new experiences too varied to imagine. What you're about to commence is limitless." He was better at this than I am. It's important for my dad to keep the traditions of staying close with his classmates throughout his adult years. I met his high school friends when I was very young, and today I consider many of them family. When my father unfortunately passed last October, it was his high school friends who we heard from first. As a matter of fact, the bench right on the other side of this hedge was dedicated to my father by the class of 1964, his class. He's got his name on it and everything, and it's definitely better than the brick I have over there. Once again, this is truly a special place. Some of you have been classmates for the last 13 years, and once you move on, you'll see just how rare and unique your high school experience truly was. A lot of my friends in college that I met after high school think it's unusual to be so close with people I met in first grade, middle school, even high school. I suppose it is, but that's just part of being from Bronxville. I wish you all the best of luck. You're on to the next chapter of your life. Take time, enjoy your experience, and don't panic. Enjoy the rest of the night.
A tradition at graduation is to honor those members of the class who have distinguished themselves by excelling in various areas of academics and the fine and performing arts. To begin, the Bronxville Teachers Association presents a scholarship to a student who has demonstrated an enthusiasm for lifelong learning, a willingness to help others, a positive attitude, and an interest in entering the field of education. Applicants wrote an essay entitled "Why Teach?" The winner of this award wrote, "Everyone wants to make a difference in the world. Not only do teachers do this every day with individual students, but they set off a domino effect as their students go out and pursue their own passions, each with their own impact. Teaching is the link between the past, the present, and the future, and it is my goal to join our teachers in strengthening and educating the future." The class of 2023 recipient of the Why Teach Award, and I would ask you to stand to be recognized, is Isabella Fenner. The following students have been recognized by the faculty for their achievement in particular subject areas. Given the weather, we're going to ask you to stand to be recognized so that we have time to hand out all of the diplomas. So, in the area of fine and performing arts, the Gwynn Awards are presented in memory of Ralph Gwynn, a Bronxville school member who held a strong commitment to student participation in the arts. For excellence in instrumental music for orchestra, please stand Saya Mueller. For excellence in instrumental music for band, Dash Kwan. For excellence in vocal music, Molly Bishop. For excellence in fine arts, Andrew Doyle. For excellence in drama, Jake Berman. For excellence in English, Ted Harity. For excellence in mathematics, Arna Polyadov. For excellence in social studies, Wilder Bergen. For excellence in Spanish, Saya Mueller. The Frank D. Little Award for Excellence in French, Isabella Fenner. For excellence in Latin, Remy Mellinghoff. And for overall academic excellence, Arna Polyadov. And finally, this year, we have 2 students who will receive the David Quattroni Award for Engaged Citizenship, named in honor of our former superintendent. These are Remy Mellinghoff and Remy Bhatia. Congratulations. At this time, I would like to take a moment to thank everyone who has been a part of making this year successful. I'd like to thank the Bronxville Board of Education and our superintendent, Dr. Kelly. Thank you to Mr. Lassane, Mr. Haven, and Mr. Kind, and all of our dedicated faculty who spent countless hours preparing all of you for the future. Thank you to our senior class advisor, Beth Agarabi, the senior class chairs, Sarah Clifford, Michelle McBride, Megan McSherry, and Jane Scotty, who, among other things, helped Mrs. Flood organize a wonderful senior week. Thank you. Thank you to the PTA for all of your unending support this year, and a very special thank you, particularly given the weather. We've been in a lot of contact the last few days, and I appreciated all of your help. Amy Atkinson and Cece Harity, thank you, and everyone who helped to make today's graduation possible. It was a team effort. Now, Dr. Kelly, I am pleased to have you certify for graduation the class of 2023.
Good evening, everyone. This class's collective good work honors the Bronxville Promise. With this transition, you move from students guided by the promise to stewards now caring for it. Much love to the members of the class of 2023. The Bronxville School will always be here for you. It is my pleasure to certify to the Board of Education that all members of the class of 2023 have met the requirements of New York State and Bronxville High School and are ready to receive their diplomas. I would like to ask our Director of Counseling, Mr. Aaron Kind, to come forward and read the roll of graduates.
Row 1, please rise. Julia Macy Bazinet. Anna Grace Becker. Catherine Cresswell Berkery. Edalawit Deneka Bird. Evelyn Anna Bracketzellos. Sadie Nora Cassidy. Eleanor Thornton Clifford. Rachel Margaret Caniff. Sophia Lucia Costanzo. Lily Mary Crystal. Lucy Louise Curran. Savannah Deli Coley. Fiona McGrath Denning. Munira Duliawala. Catherine McKinley Dicker. Ava DiClemente O'Connor. Danielle Rose Dragoni. Isabella Kawasaki Fenner. Raina Ciara Graham. Amelia A. Gruyan. Hope Newcomb Hirschberg. Grace Adeline Hoffman. Alexandra Mays Holbert. Brooke Lindley Kay. Eileen Blanche Klumper. Row 2, please rise. Natalie Grace Latham. Elizabeth Alcott Langhoff. Regan Sylvia Rooney Matthews. Sophia Augusta McCarthy. Beatrice Christina McLean. Michaela Farrell McSherry. Remy Alexandra Mellinghoff. Natalia Carolina Metzger. Sarah Ruth Modisett. Saya Alicia Mueller. Gabriella Narkai. Catherine Ann O'Hare. Anna Elizabeth Alcalt. Arna Polyadov. Sana D. Patel. Caitlin Flannery Petty. Miley K. Reinking. Anastasia S. Richard. Manuela Moda Rodenbush. Whitney Hayes Rowan. Georgia B. Rowland. Clarissa Dorothy Russo. Kayala Jihe Schubert. Olivia Aya Shinsato. Margaret Malloy Bishop. Row 3, please rise. Enzo Gama de Almeida. Jacob Robert Sigurdsson Adkins. Dallas Harrison Agnew. John Angoni. Owen Edward Atkinson. James Taylor Ball. Luca Amir Barron. Gavin W. Benton. Audrey Elizabeth Spiegel. Dia Shriram. Adeline Hutton St. Philip. Kayla Nicole Tatarian. Annabelle Rose Thurston. Eva Maria Tamala Rydell. Augusta Mary Ventura. Zixian Zhu. Hudson Jane Zivick. Jacob Abraham Berman. Remy Alexander Bhatia. Derek Anthony Billieu. Wilder Townsend Bergen. Michael Alexander Clark. Henry Charles Clifford. Andrew Henry Doyle. Row 4, please rise. Thomas Joseph Keneally. Miles Nicholas Courtney. Joseph Ryan Kataya. Maxwell Harris Dicker. Montgomery Roosevelt Dubé. William Fang. Jeremy Charles Freeman. Joseph Richard Gallo. Ian Bernard Gegenworth. Endrit Joni. Noah Gonzalez. Elias Drake Goodson. Tyler Alexander Hammerling. John William Henningsen. Thomas Edmund Harity. Nicholas James Holmeyer. Nicholas Higgins Hood. Ethan R. Jaquette. Andrew Austin Jensen. Wesley Taylor Kane. Daniel Unway Cow. Declan James Keaveney. Simon Burl Kravitsky. Dashel Wenkyung Kwan. Row 5, please rise. Alexander Constantine Lottis. Aiden Lee. Christopher John Lockwood. Timothy Lawrence Lockwood. Ryan Lopez Ryan. James Stewart Marshall. Andrew W. Martin. Jack Flanagan Martin. Joseph Mark Matthews. Aiden McBride. Sean Clark McGrath. Alex Fire Mercer. Kian Merluccio. Max Wexford Morgan. Jack Newton. Killian James O'Friel. Graydon Wesley O'Keefe. Amon Delaney O'Reilly. David Xavier O'Shaughnessy Jr. Rowan James Derek Onslow. Marquise Jordan Ortiz. Christopher O'Brien Patterson. Row 6, please rise. Pierce William Patterson. Krish Perro. Jack Robert Perry. Mark Gerald Pytosh. Zarek Rana. William Colvin Redman. Zen Yanthi Rice. Matias Asal Revadenera. John Patrick Rizzo. Hayes Christian Romley. Marco Dylan Sandilia. Paul Finian Sands. Christopher Lewis Scotty Jr. Sean Koichi Shiroma. Luke Charles Stevens. Lu Fei Sung. Nicholas Kyle Cole Tungle. Matthew John Taviter. All right, row 7, please rise. Jamie Diego Valdez. Albert Ward Van Ness. Charles James Van Tienhoven. Julian Alexander Vila. Roberto Wagner Jr. And Johannes Cesare Wortel. Congratulations, everybody.
And one more time, congratulations to the class of 2023. Miraculously, the weather held off, and it looks like it will for some time. There is a reception on the front lawn over here at the conclusion of the ceremony. This concludes our 101st graduation ceremony of the Bronxville School. Thank you. Graduates can stand.